Hello, my name is Hamid Angoud. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to a new session of Pedagogical Lesson in English. Today, we'll devote this session to practice activities for end of term of year exam. That is to say, we're going to work on exercises that you're supposed to be given on the day of the exam. And today, as you know, the exam paper is composed of 3 sections. That is the reading comprehension section, the language section, and the writing section. My job today is to help you work on the reading comprehension section. Okay? As you can see, the session is on the reading comprehension section. That is the first part of the exam paper. Okay, as you know, you're always given a text. And when you receive the text, the first thing you do is, of course, to have a look at the text before you start working. So let's have a first look at the text. This is what all students do. That is to say, before they get down to work, they first have a look at the text, the questions, and then they start working. Here is the title. Here is the first paragraph of the text. Okay, here is the second paragraph, third paragraph, okay, fourth paragraph, and paragraph number 5. Okay, as you can see, it's a 5-paragraph text. Okay, now let's have a look at questions. Now I've got number 1, comprehension. That is 15 points. As you know, you get 15 points for the reading comprehension part of the exam. And on your exam, you're always asked to base all your answers on the text. That is to say, all the answers you're going to find will be taken from the text. Okay, so here is the first question. A. The rubric says, pick out from the text expressions or phrases which show that. Okay, don't worry. Now we're going to come back to this question and read the text and find the answer. Now, question B. It says answer these questions. So this is the type of questions you're given on the exam. Question C. It says, are these sentences true or false? Justify. This takes 3 points. If you find good answers, you get 3 answers. That is to say, 1 point for each answer. And exercise D, it says, find in the text words or phrases that mean same as. That is to say, you're going to read the text and find equivalents, synonyms of these words. Never mind. Now we're going to come back to this exercise when we do focused reading. And this is question E. It says, choose the right answer from the list given. Same thing, 3 points. Now that's 5 questions, 5 types of questions, and for each type we've got 3 points. As I told you, comprehension takes 15 points of the exam paper. All right, now we have had a look at the exam. That is to say, we've had a look at the text, how long it is, how short it is, and then we've taken note of the questions. We've got 5 types of questions, A, B, C, D, E. All right. And yes, this is the E. Choose the right answer from the list given, of course. And then, of course, before you start answering, yes, you do a first general reading of the text. Now, if you don't mind, let's read together this text. So, Walt Disney, 1901-1966. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. The man who would one day create the happiest place on earth experienced less than an idyllic childhood. Walt Disney's father wandered from one job to another, looking to find success, and often needing to rely on his brother to stay afloat. Walt lacked not just financial security, but for affection. His father was a cold and abusive man. Walt was determined to blaze his own path of success and not end up like his dad. All right. At age 16, he dropped out of high school and served in the ambulance corps during World War I. After the war, Disney found work creating ads for businesses in Kansas City. He was fascinated by the emerging field of animation and decided to set up his own animation business. Unable yet to manage money effectively, the business went bankrupt. The Disney set up a studio Hollywood and began turning out cartoons, culminating in the enormously popular Steamboat Willie in 1928. Over the next several years, Disney introduced equally beloved characters such as Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto. In 1934, Disney began to work on his most ambitious idea yet, a full-length animated feature. Dubbed Disney's folly by his critics, most thought the idea would spell the demise of Disney Studio. Instead, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a smashing success. The film was followed by a myriad of other beloved full-length features and animated shorts. In the 1950s, Disney expanded the work of his company to include the production of 5 action films. Disney also completed an ambitious project few believed could be a success: the 1955 opening of Disneyland. Disney World followed in 1964. Walt Disney understood the desires of average people. While critics lamented the artificially wholesome world depicted in his family-friendly movies and theme parks, the public fell in love with it and bought into Disney's vision completely. Now, as you can see, what we've done now is a general reading of the text. So first, you take the exam, you look at it, you take note of the questions, then you do a general reading of the text, of course, before you decide to do what we call focused reading. That is to say, you look at the questions and then you go back to the text, find the answer, and write it down. So this is a strategy you should follow while you work on comprehension part of the exam. Now we come to first focused reading. That is to say, we concentrate reading, not the whole text. And before we do that, let's have a look at the question. It's A. It says, pick out from the text expressions or phrases which show that. Now let's take the first item. What does it say? It says, Walt Disney, the child, lacked financial security. Now we're going to look into the text and find the justification of this statement. Now let's go back to the text. As I always tell you, please, you don't read the whole text to find the answer. You just choose to go directly to the part of the text where you think the answer lies. In this case, the answer is highlighted. Walt Disney's father wandered from one job to another, looking to find success and often needing to rely on his brother to stay afloat. So, which means his father didn't have, a good job. The father kept changing jobs. All right. So Walt Disney, the child, lacked financial security. Now, how do we justify this? From the text, we've got this portion here. It says, Walt Disney's father wandered from one job to another, looking to find success, and often needing to rely on his brother to stay afloat. The father doesn't have a good job, and sometimes he asks money from his his brother. So, next item. Walt Disney, the child, lacked affection and love. Now, let's go and pick up from the text a sentence or a phrase which shows this. Now, We don't need to do the whole reading, as I tell you. Just the part of the text which gives us the answer. Please look at this text, at the part of the text in green. It says his father was a cold and abusive man. That's enough. So, Walt Disney the child lacked affection and love. Now the expression which shows thus is this: his father was a cold and abusive man. His father was cruel, violent with him, and he doesn't love him. Next question, number 3. Walt Disney had a good idea of what his public asked for. Now before producing films, of course, Walt Disney had an idea about what his public asked for. Now we have to find in the text what shows this. Now, same procedure, same strategy. We don't need to read the whole text. Just, learn to go directly to the part of the text which gives us the answer. Here we are. Walt always understood the desires of average people. It's the same thing as understanding what the public said. So the answer is right. Walt Disney had a good idea of what the public asked for. Now this is the phrase or sentence which shows that. Walt always understood the desires of average people. Now second focused reading text of the text. It's answer these questions. These are called WH questions. Now question number 1, it says, why did Walt Disney's first animation business fail? Let's go back to the text. Now same strategy, don't read the whole text, just try to find the part of the text which helps you find the answer quickly. Here we are. Unable yet to manage the money effectively, the business went bankrupt. That's the answer. So the question is why did Walt Disney's first animation business fail? The answer is because the money wasn't managed effectively. This is how you should write your answers on the exam. Question 2. When did Disneyland open? This is a very factual question. It's quite easy. All right? Same procedure, focused reading, not all text reading. Here we have the 1955 opening of Disneyland. Now it's easy for you to write the answer. The question, when did Disneyland open? Very simply, it opened in 1955, and you get 1 point for that. Right, and number 3, what are Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto? Right, what are they? Now same procedure, please, don't read the whole text. Now Disney introduced equally beloved characters such as Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto. So the answer is, they are Walt Disney's famous cartoons characters. Now we finished question B. We move to third focused reading, and we're going to do question C. It's a true-false statement. Are these sentences true or false? Justify. Always try to find the justification for your answer. Don't just write true or false. You get nothing if you don't write the justification. Now let's look at question number 1. Walt Disney decided to work and behave differently from his father. Same procedure, focused reading. Let's look at the bottom of the paragraph. What does it say? Walt was determined to blaze his own path of success and not end up like his dad. So, is it true or false? Good, true. In the text we have not end up like his dad. End up means finish. He didn't want to finish his days or his life like his dad did. Not end up like his dad. You take the justification from the text. Now, statement number 2. Walt Disney proved wrong the critics' opinions about his studio. Now, the critics thought something about his studios. Now, did he prove them right or wrong? Now, Walt Disney proved wrong. Let's see. Same procedure, please. Same strategy. Just go directly to the part of the text where you can find the answer. Now, dubbed Disney's folly by his critics, most thought the idea would spell the demise of the Disney World studio. Instead, that's the answer. Snow White and Seven Dwarfs was a smashing success, which means his studio was a success. So number 1, Walt Disney proved wrong the critics' opinions about his studio. It's true. Instead, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs was a smashing success. Right. Now, number 3, Disneyland and Disney World are 2 titles of Walt Disney's movies. It's a bit hard question because the answer is not directly given in the text, but I think you've got to use your imagination as well as your experience to give this answer. Right? Same procedure, please, same strategy. Try to select your reading. It says, and theme parks. So, Disneyland and Disney World are not names of films, but they are names of theme parks. They are names of theme parks. So it's a false. Please remember, false or true, always try to find the justification for your answer in your text. Okay? Thank you. Now we've got 4th focused reading, right? And then it says, question D, find in the text words or phrases that mean the same as. You look for synonyms for this word. Let's start by word number 1, to depend. It's in paragraph 1. So you're given the paragraph where to look for the synonym. So the task is easier. Now let's go to paragraph 1. And the answer is there. It's to rely on. So to depend on, paragraph 1. Okay, to rely on. To depend on means the same thing as to rely on. These are 2 phrasal verbs. Now a large number or a big number. It's in paragraph 4. Now find in the text words which mean same thing as a large or a big number. Now let's go directly to paragraph 4. It's there in the first line. It's in green. A myriad, right? So a large number of a big number. So a myriad means the same thing as a big or a large number of something. Okay. Now totally, fully, it's an adverb, and it's in paragraph 5. So you go directly to paragraph 5 and look for the word which means the same thing as totally or fully. Okay? Here it is. By chance, it's the last word of the paragraph. It's completely. Right? So totally, fully in paragraph 1, and completely means much the same as totally or fully. So I've done A, B, C, and D. That's four questions. Now we come to the 5th focused reading, and of course we do question E. It says choose the right answer from the list given. It's a multiple choice question. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Does this mean actions are preferred to words? Does this mean words are preferred to actions? Or does it mean words and actions are of equal importance? Now we have this saying with the title of the text. The way to get started is to quit, that's to leave talking, and begin doing. Right. So what do you think the answer is? Very good. Actions are preferred to words. So we prefer actions to words. Next question, and the last one. Same thing, choose the right answer from the list given. It's a multiple choice question. It's 3 points, meaning you get 1.5 points for each correct question. Answer. The happiest place on earth refers to Walt Disney Studio, Walt Disneyland, Walt Disney Company. Again, we don't have a direct answer here. As I told you earlier, sometimes you need to use your own life, your imagination to find the answer. It's in first sentence of first paragraph. The man who would one day create the happiest place on earth. So what does that place mean? Good. Yes, it means Walt Disneyland. Okay, so the happiest place on earth in this text refers to Walt Disneyland. So here we are. I have come to the end of this lesson, this activity of course. I hope You've made the best of it. I hope to be able to meet you next time. Until that moment, goodbye. Thank you.